Hi Vicky, sorry for the delay. There was an issue as I told you, but now here I am. Let's have a look at your essays. So the first one is the letter, the English and Homestay program. So dear Mr. and Mrs. White, my name is Vicky Lee and I'm your guest. Not of, I would say, I will be your guest and I will be your guest in the framework. In the framework of the English and Homestay program. Please allow me to introduce myself, my itinerary, and ask a few basic questions about the UK. Great sentence. I really like the sentence. Nice use of the word itinerary. This is not very accurate because itinerary mostly refers to the road, like literally itinerary, let's say, of your sightseeing. But it can be used in a way here too. I mean, I don't completely mind this. I'm a junior architect from Shanghai, China, and I'm planning to study for a master degree in the UK. I've been fascinated with British culture, historical architecture, and even British accent since I was a teenager. Great. Maybe a linking word. So I believe this program will be an astonishing opportunity for me to enhance my English and learn about local customs before I apply for my master's course. Yes, that was the space. Never mind the correction. My master's course. Before my arrival, I would like to grasp. I wouldn't use grasp. I would like to perhaps collect. I would like to kindly ask for some essential information about the destination. What is the weather like in September? What kind of clothing should I prepare? And more importantly, what types of topics and manners are considered as rude or inappropriate so that I should avoid them in conversations with the locals? This is great, but you are asking direct questions. However, it would be better, and your range of grammatical forms would benefit from the fact if you could rephrase this into indirect questions. For example, I was wondering what type of weather is there in September? What the weather was like in September in the UK. Also, another question that was on my mind was what kind of clothing I should prepare, right? So because the word order is different in indirect questions, and if you use them, it shows that you have a better command of advanced grammatical forms. So think about this, and when you need to ask questions, don't ask them with question marks, but ask them in the form of indirect questions. I am grateful that you allow me to stay in your house for a month. This sounds a bit direct. Perhaps you could go like, finally, I would like to express my gratitude for having me in your house for a month. I would like to. I kindly inform you. As for my let's say arrival details, and this is very important. You don't need I kindly inform you. No. I will arrive in London on September 1st at this time, and my flight number is. I look forward to seeing you. Yours sincerely, Vicky Lee. Great. Just make sure that you use sufficient and appropriate linking words. Finally, here, as for my arrival details, to introduce the part with your flight details. Other than that, you have great development, very good task achievement, good coherence and cohesion. I can see. I told you about the indirect questions. Just make sure that you take care of the small things in grammar and vocabulary. Now let's have a look at the essay. It is controversial whether workers should stay in the same company for their entire career or change jobs from time to time. Okay, it is controversial sounds a bit simplistic. Sorry for the word simplistic, but because it's not a very positive word. So perhaps you could say it is. There's a lot of controversial debate sparked when it comes to discussing whether workers should stay in the same company and blah blah blah. Right. So try to use the word controversial in a more complex clause here. I strongly agree with the latter opinion because shifting occupations provide breadwinners opportunities to advance their professional abilities and boost their competitiveness in the job markets. Okay, I wouldn't use the word breadwinner here. Why? Because the word breadwinner mostly refers to earning money for your existence. And in the context of family, for example, who is the breadwinner in your family? Oh, that's my wife because I'm the stay-at-home dad, and she's the breadwinner. She goes to work. She has a great position. So breadwinners is not a good synonym for employees. I would say employees would be a much better word. Employees, because shifting what else from one workplace to another, because another shifting occupations is not the best option here. All the rest is just great. Absolutely great summary of the main arguments, and no sentence about like this essay is going to use examples from and from. Doesn't really matter as long as you have the examples. The arguments are much more important. So yeah. On the one hand, it is ample. There is ample evidence. No, you cannot say it is. There is ample evidence that lifelong employment allows staff members to stay on course and move up the ladder steadily, move up the career ladder. This is because some companies take employees' loyalty and prolonged serving duration, and here you can actually do yourself a favor and say service, as substantial evaluations for promotions and awards. No, as a substantial condition, no, not substantial, as substantial is not the best word here. Substantial. What's wrong with you? Let's say fundamental condition for promotions and rewards. And yes, it means if you are loyal and if you have worked for us for 15 years, you will be promoted, and that's a condition. I wouldn't use the word evaluation here, no. For example, studies by the University of Tokyo demonstrate that loyalty is commonly considered as the most important measurement in Japanese enterprises. Semicolon, not a comma, or this becomes the error called comma splice. I think I mentioned this to you before. As a result, long-term members, no, you can say long-term plans, but not long-term members. You can say veteran members or senior members. Or senior employees are more likely to move up to upper managerial levels, regardless of their working abilities. Hence, it is clear that working for the same employer till retirement provides career security to the hirelings. To some extent, hirelings, interesting, okay? But you know, this sentence makes us think about something negative, right? Regardless of their working abilities. Perhaps this may lead to another additional thought. But anyway, this paragraph is very well built. Even though long-term employment, yes, you see, long-term employment collocates perfectly, might ensure one's career advancement. Whereas I would use a still. Still, there are risks to be laid off. Okay, I think I told you before, try to use as few phrasal verbs as possible. However, laid off here is okay. However, switching jobs enables one to obtain and master new skills according to the requirements of different positions. Okay, in return, wait a second. What's the main point of this paragraph? Is this a positive paragraph or negative paragraph? Uh, okay. Shifting jobs allows one to hone professional abilities. This is a positive paragraph, but your topic sentence says it's a negative paragraph. You really have to be careful. In order to make sure that this sentence says what you need to say, you have to switch it. Even though there might be risks to be laid off, long-term employment still ensures it still ensures career advancement. Okay, without ones. I'm not going to rewrite this for you because I said it verbally. Um, and I wouldn't use however, but thus, because you go on switching jobs and so on and so forth. Because yes, you start with the contrast connector, right? You say even though I am aware of the risks, look at the benefits, right? Okay. Okay, according to the requirements of different positions, in return, he or she, no. Please don't use the slash. You either use he or she, or you say they. They tend. And by this they, you mean he or she. They tend to be more versatile. Okay. As the research by Oxford University summarizes, no, summarize is not a good word here. As the research of Oxford University states. You can say states. You can say um, outlines. Outlines is better. Summarizes. No, a person can summarize. You can summarize, but not the research. Outlines. Job hoppers, very good vocabulary, outperform their counterpart by 45% in task execution. Okay. Furthermore, many employers welcome candidates with extended working experience and well-rounded skill sets with open arms. Hmm I wouldn't say furthermore, I would say even more. There's a slight difference between the two. Even more. Even more. It's like, look at that, look at that. Okay, what's wrong with you here, employers? No. For instance, a report from Ford magazine shows that more than 60% of the CEOs, plural, from the top 100 international companies are golden parachutes. Beautiful, beautiful use of topical vocabulary. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that shifting jobs allows one to hone their professional abilities to become more competitive on the job market, right? If you have that benefit. To sum up, even if lifelong jobs might ensure a more stable career path, changing occupations offers, if you have the subject, the gerund as a subject, changing occupations, then your verb is going to be third person singular, offers, like it offers. Chances for wage earners, this is good, to enrich their skills and experience so that they could become more qualified to upper positions. I wouldn't say upper positions, but to senior, um, for senior positions. Yeah, not upper, not upper. Upper managerial positions as you had it, yes. Well, this is a great essay. Very good answer to the question. I told you what I think. I'm going to highlight the sentence so that you make sure that you don't forget about it. I told you why it's confusing. You start with the counter argument and then you go on with the argument, okay? Other than that, this is a very, very good essay. I can see you improve. I can see that this much writing is definitely becoming very, very fruitful for you. I'm going to be, oh yes, and I think you asked a question how, when you develop, when you support your explanation with examples, you reach the limit of 310 words. Well, it's not the end of the world. Even if you have 310, it's not bad because, your upper limit is 290-ish, kind of. So it's not a big deal. And then when you proofread in the final 5 minutes, try to think, how can I say this in fewer words? But again, do not take away from the from the meaning of what you say. So yeah, this is the answer. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Sorry about the delay again. I will try to make sure that doesn't happen. As you could see so far, we've been very, very on point with the punctuality. So it's just a thing that I really had to take care of. So this is it. Looking forward to more of your essays, Vicky.